How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there? Y'all know what time it is, baby. You're not walking with Easy Work Boxing, baby. We in the building. Gotta come on talk tonight. I told y'all, Easy Work Boxing is back, baby. Nobody's talking no racism. We just give it to you fair and square from the sport that we love. Whether you're black, white, purple, or green, we gonna keep it in between. You understand me? About to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Just got off fight hype, man, and I watched, Blair Cobbs show up and, try to crash Adrian Broners workout, but my boy stayed focused. AB still stayed, shadow boxing, hitting the bag. Blair Cobbs, he came in, got his hand wrapped, things of that nature. This is going to be a good fight. I would like to see who's going to come out on top. Me, y'all know I'm going for Adrian Broner. One thing you got to remember when you're going against Adrian Broner, when you piss him off, he becomes a whole nother fighter. He's over there with Calvin, Ford, if that's his name, if I remember correctly, Coach Calvin. And you can see the happiness in him. You can see he's focused. You see a smile on his face. And I think that's what Adrian Broner needed, especially after the death of Coach Stafford. He needs somebody in his corner who's going to love him, show him support. Then he's back with his homeboy, Tank. Tank's inspiring him to come back out and get back on top like he once was. So I think that Blair Cobbs is in trouble. Even though Blair Cobbs, is the bigger opponent in this, and which I don't know right now whether it's 147 or, 140, but I'm finna go look it up. Blair Cobbs, I watched some of his, highlights, and I will say Blair Cobbs reminded me of Medrick Taylor without the footwork and the experience. Blair Cobbs is very flat-footed. He's a hell of an opponent. You know what I'm saying? He's only 16-1. Doesn't really have the experience that AB has. They was arguing. He was saying that he's a champion. He's this. He's that. But I don't think Blair Cobbs is really for what Adrian Broner will bring to the table, especially the body punching of Adrian Broner. That's one thing that people is not, remembering about Adrian Broner. He is an excellent body puncher. So, can't wait to see who's going to come out victorious in that fight. Like I told you, I feel like Blair Cobbs is just a carbon copy of Ric Flair and Keith Thurman. Take nothing away from him. He beat my boy Maurice Hooker. I thought Maurice Hooker was going to beat Blair Cobbs. But I think at the end of the day, experience and, ring IQ and all these things are going to be the most important thing. If I ain't mistaken, I think Blair Cobbs started late in boxing too. And we all know that AB has been boxing since he was a kid. He's been doing it for a long time. So, with his new inspiration, with being behind Tank and Coach Calvin, I think that, he's going to come out victorious. Now, this is something I also seen too when I was watching Coach Calvin. Now, a lot of y'all, when y'all see this, y'all going to be like, Easy, you know what? You all right. Coach Calvin looks exactly like Chris Cole. If you could fast forward time until 2047 or 2053, you will see Chris Cole looking exactly like Coach Calvin. I don't know how I seen it, but I saw it, and I thought about it, and I said, he looks exactly like this man. I'm wondering if, because where is Chris Cole from? Philadelphia, if I ain't mistaken. Or is he from Baltimore, somewhere like that? Chris Cole might be Coach Calvin's son, because they look exactly alike. But, I'm very happy for AB. Glad to see him back. Also, I'm glad for, Blair Cobbs, for them guys to go work with Don King, somebody that believe in them. Don King being back to where he once was. They can't get rid of Don King, like I said in my last video. They could try and they could try, but one thing about it, Don King won't die. He gonna keep coming back. He gonna keep giving the boxing public what they want. He gonna create matches. Whether it's heavyweight, lightweight, any weight. Don King is gonna bring it to him and give it to him. So that's a fight that I'm ready to see. I'm going for Broner. I think that with the new trainer Kevin Ford, his new, mindset, you know, I think that he's going to come out victorious. Even though Blair Cobbs is the bigger fighter, Blair Cobbs has a 73-inch reach. He is 5'11". Adrian Broner is 5'6". Oh, with a 69-inch reach. So we know that Adrian Broner is going to have to get inside of and go against Blair Cobbs. You know, I told y'all Blair Cobbs doesn't really have footwork. He's really fat-footed. You know, Adrian Broner, some say that he gun shy. One thing I don't like about Adrian Broner when he fights is that he throws, you know, 1, 2, 3 punches. You know, he's a single shot fighter, but hopefully he'll come out of that since he's working with new trainers. And, you know, they said they've been working on him landing shots and hitting people with good shots on the chin. You know, hopefully they've been got him doing combinations, opening his hands up more over there with Coach Cavanaugh. So I'm rocking with Adrian Broner in that fight. Also, we still got talks of the Canelo Alvarez-Terence Crawford fight. We got Fundora versus Spence. You know, we got David Benavidez finna fight. I don't know how to say his name. His name Alexander, and this is a guy that lost to Beterbiev. You know, the question is with David Benavidez. Will David Benavidez be the monster that he was at 168? You know, once you move up, everything changes. Chins change and power changes. So with his power carry, you know, from what he's done to Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, which he didn't stop Caleb Plant, but many others at 168, will that still be, you know, major for him at 160, at 175 against light heavyweights? You know, will David Benavidez be the boogeyman at 175? Now, I heard through the grapevine once, I heard through the grapevine that he was actually offered an opportunity to actually fight Artur Beterbiev for the WBC title, and he turned it down. Now, I don't know how true that is. I can't say it's true, but has David Benavidez played into Canelo Alvarez's hands? Because by going up to 175, David Benavidez has basically showed the world that he was never really supposed to be there and that he can no longer make 168 pounds. Now, in my opinion, the smart move of Canelo Alvarez and his team is once David Benavidez goes up to 175, maybe have 1 or 2 fights at 175. If you really want the title shot to be undisputed, David Benavidez, then come on back down to 168 so we can drain you and we can have the advantage. So has David Benavidez played into Canelo Alvarez's hands by moving up to 175? See, what a lot of people got to understand that Canelo Alvarez is Floyd Mayweather at this point as far as the money man. And money goes a long way. Money goes a long way. And I'm going to explain to you what I'm saying. Y'all remember when Floyd Mayweather was fighting Andre Berto and Floyd Mayweather told Andre Berto, oh, I know that Andre Berto went to the gym last night, but he left the gym and did not train. See, somebody who knows Andre Berto from his camp or somebody who was around him had to tell Floyd Mayweather that. So that's what I mean by Canelo has pull. See, Canelo pull probably has reached so far that David Benavidez's camp and told him, David is struggling to make 168. Just hold out. Just give it a minute. It's going to turn out lovely. And so he moves up to 175, and Canelo calls him out later this year for a fight. He got to drop back down and probably make a weight that he cannot make anymore. Which means that David Benavidez will come in as the weaker opponent versus Canelo Alvarez, because we all know that Canelo Alvarez will be the A side, correct? So has David Benavidez fell into the trap of Canelo Alvarez as well? Now, also, we've been also hearing that Canelo Alvarez is willing to fight Terence Crawford, which Canelo loves these type of fights. You know, even though he didn't want to fight Terence Crawford at 168, but he was willing to fight Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence Jr. at 160. See, when you're a dangerous fighter and people know that you got IQ and that you got skills, they make excuses. See, he said he didn't want to fight Terence Crawford, but you were willing at one point to fight Errol Spence Jr. Why were you willing to do that? Because you knew Canelo Alvarez that Errol Spence Jr. wasn't half the fighter that Terence Crawford was. Now, I know due to the weight issues, of course, you know, the best thing for you to do is roll with Canelo Alvarez. You know, the fighter that Terence Crawford is, he's a smaller guy coming up. His chances are that Crawford could probably get hurt. He could probably get knocked out because the power of Canelo Alvarez, and not only the power. Let's not just talk about the power. We know how the WBC allows. We know how the WBC allows Mr. Canelo Alvarez to come in. And all I'm saying is, like Superman. So going against a fighter like Terrence Crawford, Terrence is going to really have to be on his P's and Q's talk about fighting Canelo Alvarez. Because one thing, which we don't talk about race right here, Canelo already got embarrassed by one black fighter. He already got embarrassed by one black fighter who was a pure boxer. I think from the fact of Canelo Alvarez's mistakes by loading up with punches, his single shot throwing like Adrian Broner, they fight him and Adrian Broner don't throw nothing but 1, 2, 3 shots. Fighting a fighter like Terrence Crawford who can catch you when you opening up, who will capitalize off your mistakes is very dangerous to go against Terrence Crawford. A lot of people are counting him out due to the fact that he's, a smaller fighter, but Terrence Crawford has defense. He's not a Jermell Charlo. He's not going to run around the ring and let Canelo Alvarez just beat up on him. It will be a different fight, but there's no telling who can win. I'm not the person that's going to sit up here on their channel and tell you that, Terrence Crawford, because what's Terrence Crawford done to other people, that he's going to get up there and out like Canelo Alvarez. I can't do that. That's not logical. But will he have a better chance of showing the public than Jermell Charlo did? Yes. Will he give us a better fight than what Jermell Charlo did? Yes. Is there a possibility that Terrence can somehow, some way, come out on top against Canelo Alvarez? Yes. And don't say no, because a lot of y'all gave Charlo the opportunity to come out on top. In which he went around and bounced around the ring and played and got his money and disappeared. And ducked Terrence Crawford by relinquishing all his belt because he knew that Terrence Crawford was coming to 154. Now we got Mr. Errol Spence going to 154. He's going to face Sebastian Fundora. They said they got a fight. They have both, said they won't do in the fall. Me personally, I think, like I told y'all in the last video, Errol Spence needs to take his time. He needs confidence fights. He shouldn't just jump in there with a fighter like Fundora. Right now, Fundora's confidence is high. He just beats him to zoo. Whichever way you want to say it, whether you want to say it from blood in his eyes or whatever, he came out on top. Now Errol Spence wants to jump in the ring and become the unified champion at 154. And like I said in my video, if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, beat their opponents, Madrimov and Fundora, will Errol Spence be willing to even give Terrence Crawford a shot at unification at 154? Will Errol Spence be willing to do that when he wouldn't do it at 147 for the rematch? And a lot of y'all gonna say, well, Errol was weight drained. Errol went through this, and yes, he'll give him the rematch, but Errol is still the same fighter he was at 147. It wasn't the weight that got Errol Spence beat up. Errol Spence has never told y'all that he was weight drained. That's just coming from fans and people who don't like Terrence Crawford. It wasn't the weight issue. It was a one-dimensional issue. It was the fact that Errol Spence gets in the ring and does the same thing over and over again. And when you have 3 trainers, see, this is what y'all forget about Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has 3 trainers. So you know how they say 2 heads are better than 1? Imagine 3 heads. These are 3 men looking at tape and watching a guy and realizing he continues to do the same thing to every fighter that he fights. We're going to capitalize off him. And they did their job, and that's why you seen the devastation of Errol Spence that night. It had nothing to do with weight. Errol didn't make an excuse about weight. Errol didn't make an excuse about nerve damage. But yet the same fighter that y'all said had nerve damage and was poisoned. You remember y'all said the lady in the red dress was in the back room and poisoned Errol Spence. This same fighter just came back out of the blue and coming straight at somebody, a top echelon fighter at 154, Sebastian Fundora. So my question to the Errol Spence fans, really the Boots fans, is he going to have nerve damage when he fights Fundora? Will the car crashes matter when he fights Fundora? These are just questions we gotta ask. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, while I'm sitting up here talking, let me go look at what's the guy named Cody Crowley. Let's talk about Jerron Ennis for a minute. Cody Crowley, a fighter that nobody knows. Nobody knows. But let's go check him out. What can he do? What can he do? He looked like Caleb Plant. He looked like Caleb Plant. Let me turn that down. Fair use notice that music didn't went long enough to try to stop my video. Versus Abel Ramos. This is a highlight. Let me see what he can do. You know, they say he's been training with Floyd Mayweather. You know, Jerron Ennis fights nobodies, but y'all say he can go and beat Terrence Crawford. Oh, he's a southpaw. Ooh. He's a southpaw. He look kind of decent. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting worse. You know what I'm saying? I see you come forward, stay in front of you fighter. Oh, yeah. He got some little skills. Uppercuts, body shots, flurries, stays in your chest, put his head in your chest. Okay. Okay, Boots. We probably going to see something. Yeah. All right. This is going to be a good fight. This probably going to be a good fight. Yo, Sleepers, what's up with you, baby? Y'all ready to, if you want to come on the channel, the link is up in the description. I can send you my phone number so you can jump on the channel. If you don't want to go that route, you know, I have no problem with you calling my phone, baby. We're talking about boxing. Please come on the channel. Also, don't forget to donate to the channel. You see it at the bottom of the screen right down there where you can go handle your business. You understand me? Okay, Cody. Let me go to another video with Cody Crowley. You look a little decent there, bro. Cody Crowley, Torres, Cody Crowley, Africa. No, I want to see him against a name. Let me see somebody who Crowley, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me just see his style against somebody. Let me just see his style. Let me go back to another fight, see if he has that. You know, because when you watch other fights, you know, the style switches up. You know, because they have different opponents and, you know, fighters have different styles. Let me see this against Torres. Yeah, he kind of look like Caleb Plant, though. You know what I'm saying? Southpaw, you know, got a decent jab. He put his jab out there. Okay, Boots, this might be a decent opponent for Boots. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't no Terrence Crawford. But it's a good opponent to, you know, step up for Terrence Crawford. You know, I see, you know, this dude got some skills. I didn't know nothing about Colby Crowley. You see what I'm saying? I don't even really know his name. This gonna be a good fight. You know, I like to watch this with Boots. I thought it was just gonna be some dude that worked at Taco Bell or, you know, somebody. But, you know, at the same time, I don't think that Cody Crowley has ever been a champion. You know, so we'll have to, you know, just see what happens in that fight at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Boots and, you know, I like to see Boots versus Spence. You know what I'm saying? I like to see Boots versus Spence. I like to see Boots versus, you know, not Blair Cobbs, but Conor Ben versus Mario Barrios versus Ugis. You know, these are the names before y'all sit up here and say he can run up on that boy Terrence Crawford. You understand me? You know, that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But Crowley looked like a decent fighter. You know, I wasn't expecting to see him, you know, fight like this or have the talent that he has. I thought he was just a pushover. So him coming back and fighting Boots, especially for a belt, I think we're gonna see an entertaining fight. It's gonna be a good fight. You know, also, you know, we unfortunately have the Demetra Bivol and Butterbean situation. All of a sudden, Butterbean got injured a week before the fight. I don't know how that happened. They should have stopped training or something, or stopped sparring before he got injured so we could have this fight. Well, nothing better than seeing Butterbean versus Bivol, which I told y'all in my videos that I'm going for Bivol. You know, I think that Bivol ain't scared of nobody. Bivol don't care about who you knocked out or how many people you knocked out. Bivol gonna go out there and put his skills up the par, up the play, and he gonna handle his business. I take nothing away from Better Beef. He's a monster. He's a monster. You know, this dude don't play. When Better Beef go out there, he is like, you know what I'm saying? You think you watching an old movie or a Russian movie, warrior movie or something like that. You know, he look like a caveman when he go out there the way he beat people up. But I think that Bivol, when it comes to boxing, has more in his arsenal to beat Better Beef. But unfortunately, we ain't gonna see that fight until later on this year. And probably we ain't gonna see it later on this year. Because if I was Better Beef coach, I wouldn't send you in there against Bivol after you just came off an injury. No, sir. No, ma'am. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to wait until we have another fight, and then possibly we'll have this undisputed matchup. So it holds up the division once again. And then we got David Benavidez stepping up there and seeing what he's going to do at 175 pounds. So it holds us up again. Now, I was also saying this about another fight. Well, you know, it shows where, you know, these managers and these family members and these coaches don't really care about these boxers. It's an upcoming fight where I was saying that if it was up to me, that fight would not happen. And I'm trying to think of the name of it. What all we got coming up? Because I said there's no way I'd allow you to get in the ring. Oh, I was talking about the Fundora versus Crawford fight. And see, whoever allowed Terrence Crawford to get jumped or get picked over by Errol Spence, that is a legit manager. That is a manager that you need on your team, because I would not allow my fighter to get in the ring with Terrence Crawford. I will allow him to get in the ring with the guy who just lost, who I know needs some step-up fights, who I know needs some confidence fights. Those are great managers with Fundora. Oh, no. We could get the same pay with Errol Spence Jr. We're not letting you in the ring with no Terrence Crawford. Hell no. Retro Gang, what's up with you?
Hey, what's good, Easy?
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, fam. What you been up to?
Nothing much, man. Just trying to survive out here, trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm talking about these fights: Blair Cobbs, Crawford, Canelo, Spence, Fundora, Crawford, you know, Madrimov, and many more fights. What's your opinion on one of these topics?
Man, right now, I want to see Wilder to come back from the ashes like Anthony Joshua, but I don't know if his mentality's there and he got the right coaching behind him. Like you said, he got a whole bunch of yes men behind him. And like you said, he started late and it's been a hurrah, a whole show, a
Okay.
charade of these right now.
Oh, you know, he fighting Zane next. What you feel about Wilder versus Zane? Who you think gonna come out on top in that fight?
Well, I feel like if Zhang don't move his head and he just trying to bang it out with Wilder, Wilder can catch him coming in, like
Mm.
how he did old boy Ortiz back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Zhang moving his head, giving him different looks, giving him that southpaw, taking away his jab, hitting him to the body, and breaking down Wilder, I think he could break Wilder down if he stays smart and not try to come in reckless and move his head.
Do you think
Change.
Wilder has had time to change anything? Do you think he's seen his mistakes, especially since the Joseph Parker fight, which I thought that he was gonna knock out Joseph Parker?
Yeah, I believe Wilder learned from his mistakes. I think what his mistake was trying to be a boxer that he wasn't. He is a puncher. He's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to go in there and try to get you out of there. He's supposed to land that right hand straight down the pipe. Either come with an uppercut, either straight or right hook, different variation with that right hand. It's a bomb. If we could hide that bomb behind the jab, that man would be knocking everybody out because it's a nuke. I
And
wouldn't even want to do with that.
also, if he can learn how to turn his punches with his hooks.
Yeah,
Wilder's arms are very long. He smothers his punches because he doesn't know how to throw hooks. And that's when you need that real deal training. He needs to get rid of Malik Scott. I don't know what's going on with them two. I don't know if they're best friends now or something like that. But Wilder will be a dominating fighter if he actually got somebody who's in there who said, "No, we gonna work on this." This
Yeah,
what we gonna do. We ain't gonna do that. We gonna do this, Wilder. You know that's one of the reasons I think Wilder's not on top is because he picks and chooses the type of coaches that he wants.
yeah. I wanted to ask you, who you got on the EJ versus Fundora fight? I wanted to hear you on this.
Uh, hold on. You said who do I have on the EJ versus Fundora?
Yeah.
Um, it's a tough thing. Me, I'm leaning more towards Errol Spence Jr. I mean, no, Fundora,
Okay.
because Fundora is coming off a fight. Nobody expected him to win. His confidence is through the roof. Even though I don't like his style with them sorry jabs that he throws, them weak jabs. You know, I feel
Hmm.
like he should have been throwing more power punches. But, you know, his jab won that fight. I think that's going to be a major problem for Errol Spence, him throwing that jab from his height and his reach. But I'm leaning towards Fundora. I think Errol Spence is ready to be in a ring with a caliber opponent like that. And, you know, Errol might, you know, show that he is. But I'm going with Fundora.
Okay. I'm going with EJ. I think after that Bud Crawford beating, I think EJ been humble. It's crazy to say it. To get beat up in front of everybody like that. And to, like you said, people talking about, oh, how can he show his face on the camera? Man, the man's still a living being, man, and he took his loss like a warrior. The reason why I say that, he didn't come out there and be like Devin Haney and start a whole I hate Terrence Crawford campaign. He went on his rant, took his kids out, and now he back in the training. That's the mentality of a champion. Look,
True.
not everybody could take a loss and still have a mentality of a champion. And I think EJ, man, I'm happy Crawford kind of took him off his pedestal. Sometimes you need a reality check. Sometimes when you smile yourself, your mama always say, when you smile yourself, I'm gonna knock you down every time,
True.
every time.
I
So
just,
I think,
I
yeah,
just, I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
nah, I just think EJ, he want to get the job done. But if Fundora catch him with them uppercuts he caught looping with, it might be night. So it's a toss up. May the best man win that night. That's all I know.
And also, both of those guys are southpaw, Lubin and Errol Spence.
That's true.
That's true. You see what I'm saying? I just feel that I'm not counting Errol Spence. I don't dislike Errol Spence because I told y'all for 5 years he was gonna get whooped. But
Hmm.
I just feel like whoever is in Errol Spence's corner should have said, man, we're gonna take some step up fights first. We're gonna build your confidence back up. We're gonna get you back in the rhythm of winning. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a dramatic loss right there. That was tragic. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if he get in the ring with Fundora, he get hit with a jab. He might have a flashback.
That,
You
that's
know?
true. I hope he's not shell shocked because you seen what happened to AB. AB never been the same.
You see what I'm
AB,
saying?
AB. Oh my. Same with Wilder. Wilder never been the same, bro. AJ, I think AJ, he's coming back, but it's taking a while to gather himself, like pick up the pieces. And I think that's what's going to be EJ. EJ got to pick up the pieces. If he beat Fundora, he got to start picking up the pieces of himself because if not, like you said, if a Terrence Crawford rematch happened and he not all the way there, man, it'll be another nightmare, another beatdown for Terrence Crawford,
He, he,
154.
he needs a whole nother coach, bro. I don't know who coaching him right now, but it has to be somebody who's been in that ring before. Somebody who's gonna show him head movement. Somebody who's gonna show him how to, throw counter punches, things of that nature. Errol Spence, was a hell of a fighter. He came and he beat many other fighters with what he had, but going against Terrence, we all know now he needs that real deal trainer, somebody who's gonna really have a game plan, game A, game B. This is how you're gonna have to do in order to beat this man. You know, it's not knocking him; it's just saying the truth. And a lot of people don't wanna hear the truth about that fight. Errol didn't rematch Terrence at 147. A lot of people gonna say it's for weight, but it was for a reason. And then they switched it to the fact that they was gonna fight at 154 for the rematch. He still didn't go through with it. It was a reason he didn't choose that. We just
Yeah,
want to
because
see. Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry. Go
sorry.
ahead.
No,
Go
sorry to
ahead.
interrupt you. You're right. EJ didn't take the rematch. I don't think like I was thinking to myself like, damn, how do I like if I was a coach, how would I beat like Bud Crawford? How would I make a plan? And I was thinking you got to have like traps on top of traps on top of traps on top. Yo, and Bud the type person he can adjust. So it's like you can't show him too much of your hand and if he know what you're gonna do, you gonna set yourself up because he gonna play your trap for you. So it's like you gotta out raccoon the raccoon. And the only person I could see doing that is like an old school trainer, a dedicated old school trainer with EJ that could do that. I don't think none of these new school Derrick James, Mumbo Jumbos, they're not gonna be able to do that.
It
They
got
not.
somebody who'd have been through
They not, bro.
it should be a fighter who lost a fight and won in a rematch type coach. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Who figured out, hey, this dude beat me like this, he beat me like that. So I came back the second fight and I got him like this. I realized what he was doing and how he got me, and I came out on top and I was victorious. It need to be a real deal. I keep saying somebody need to give Antonio Tarver a shot, man. Please, any boxers out there who see this video or and you know any boxer, give Antonio Tarver a shot. Give him. I want to see this man get his coaching shot.
Yeah, I don't know why nobody want to give Antonio Tarver a shot. Look, the man was able to knock out Roy Jones. You know
Roy
how hard you know
Jones,
how hard it was to knock out Roy Jones back in them times? Roy Jones hit you so fast you couldn't even say a chew. So you
the
talking
first
about
to do it.
the first to ever do it and nobody want to get trained by him, man? That's some hating shit, bro. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you
That's
know what?
crazy.
We ain't behind the scenes in boxing. There's probably somebody out there, more powerful who got money, saying, "Hey, don't give him a shot." Because if I was a boxer, if my son was a boxer, or if I was a boxer, I said, "Man, you know what? I'm gonna go holler at the Magic Man." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He got experience. He been in the ring before, and that'll be with any other boxer who'd have been in the ring before. I choose them as my trainer. Like when it comes to the situation of fathers in boxing, you have to step aside. You see what happened for Ryan Garcia when his father stepped aside. You see what I'm saying? Devin Haney, Bill Haney has to step aside and get out the way. You just seen your son get devastated, and it made me so sad to see that Ryan Garcia was actually in that ring and told Bill Haney, "Man, stop the fight, man. He ain't got nothing left. Stop the fight." Bill Haney would not stop the fight because of his pride. Devin Haney could have probably got killed that night. Let's just say Ryan Garcia was really on steroids like they saying he is. He could have killed that boy. When he told him, and if let's just say Ryan knew he was on steroids, Ryan told his daddy, "Stop the fight." He would not do it.
man.
He wouldn't do it.
I think it's time for Devin Haney to grow up and do his own thing, man. It's time to be your own man. I know your dad gonna always love you. We seen Roy Jones' father. Roy Jones said, "Father, we did everything in the amateurs. You took me to all my boxing events. It's time. It's time for me to grow up and go find my own thing and do my own lane." And that's what Devin has to do now. He has
Even
to make it.
well,
Yeah, it's
even
time
for
for
that, you got to get out the way. You got to go on, move on about his business. Oh, let me ask you about this fight. It's in the title. I got to ask you about Blair Cobbs versus Adrian Bronner. Did we talk about that already?
No, we didn't. I think Blair Cobbs gonna be AB unless AB let his hands go for the first time in a million years.
Yes. AB is going because Blair Cobbs going to let his hands go. I'm telling you now, Blair Cobbs is flat footed. He ain't got much skills, but if AB standing in front of Blair Cobbs, he gonna throw them hands. AB gonna have to stop that single shot, one jab, right hand. No, you gotta go to that body. You gotta throw them combinations. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. But I think that Adrian Broner, due to the fact that he's back over there with Tank and he's with Coach Calvin, that they're gonna, uplift him and bring him back to the old AB. I know.
Hey, if Coach Calvin, oh, sorry to interrupt. If Coach Calvin can bring back AB, counterpunching, letting his hands go, moving out the way, shoulder rolling, uppercut, hook, boy. If he could bring that back to bro, if he could do that just against Blair Cobbs, then yeah, he needs to stay with them. But if he go in there trying to shoulder roll everything, run away, and try to parry punches and don't throw anything, then he needs to go and just retire. Cause I'm tired of seeing AB be a punching bag. Like
Yeah.
this is terrible, man. This man used to be a phenom in the ring, and now he's a laughing stock. It's just sad, bro. It's just sad.
Now we gotta remember when, and you think about a lot of fights with Adrian Broner when he knocked down Sean Porter in the 11th, 12th round. You know, when he fought what's his name, Theo Payne. You know, when you piss him off, you know, AB take it real serious. And I think that, you know, Blair Cobbs is really getting under his skin. You know, I think Blair Cobbs thinks that he's getting the AB head. But I really think that he's pissing AB off. And I think that AB is gonna come out and show and prove, don't forget my name, don't forget who I am, this situation. Even though Blair Cobbs is bigger, I'm looking it up on BoxRec right now, and I really don't know what weight class this fight is. Is it at 147 or?
Isn't AB too old to be a 147?
No, he ain't too old, but you know, AB always trying to, from 140, 143, and stuff like that. Let me
I'm
go.
surprised he's not 150 by now or 160. AB look like he could blow up easy. When I look at him, he look like he can gain weight easy. He's not like one of the brothers that's skin and bones that takes a while. He gotta keep eating. And AB look like he could blow up to 150, 160 if he really wanted to.
Yeah, if he wanted to, but
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if this is at 147.
that's true.
Because there's a lot of fights at 147 for Adrian Broner if he want to stay on there. It's a lot of fights for him at 140 if he can make that weight. But I think really he's a 147 pound at this point.
Yeah. I think this is the last fight. If AB loses, he might as well just hang it up because, like I said, I think we're tired of seeing him just go out there and just don't throw no punches.
Yeah, we'll really consider AB as unfocused and just out there for a paycheck. People wouldn't pay attention to him no more.
I think this the last hurrah.
I'm really hoping he'll win. That could open up the doors for him in a Devin Haney fight, but then that will be at 140. I'm sure Devin Haney is not willing to step in the ring again with nobody that come past 140 after the devastation of what Ryan Garcia did to him.
Right now, I would favor AB to beat Devin Haney after that performance. I'm just gonna keep it straight.
Confidence down. I keep telling people that like confidence don't matter. When you take a dramatic loss like that, it's gonna be in your head. And like I said, all the sharks should be swimming around Devin Haney right now because Bill Haney, if he's still the coach and still the manager of Devin Haney, they're gonna be so eager to bring their name back that they'll go against the shark right now. And I think a Teofimo, Javante Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, or Matias, they all need to be swimming around Devin Haney right now because they're going to accept the fight just to bring his name back, just to make you forget about that loss. And Bill,
you need to build him back up. If he go fight one of them killers, he's gonna be fooled.
Bill Haney is going to sign that contract. Now,
Haney do that.
What do you feel about Virgil Ortiz versus Tim Tszyu?
Virgil gonna break that old man down. Virgil the type of cat he wanna fight. I saw Tim Tszyu when he was in retreat mode because he was bleeding. I said, yeah, Virgil gonna hurt that man. He gonna be on retreat mode. I already see it. Unless Tim Tszyu come in there and put a boxing class and stay out the way of Virgil and hit him with counter punches, and that's the only way I could see him being Virgil. But Virgil is the type of fighter he on your ass and he know how to cut the ring off. So because of that, I think Tim Tszyu gonna be trying to cut the ring and get away from him and try to cut the angles off, and he might get hurt in the body.
I think it's gonna be a good fight simply because I've seen Virgil Ortiz fight and I saw that. But which this is something that Virgil Ortiz and his team does, just like Devin Haney and his team. They love to go after fighters right after they've taken a loss. This is something that Virgil Ortiz has done a lot. You know, a lot of people saying this fight won't be made due to the fact of, you know, Virgil Ortiz always pulling out fights. You know, some believe, I believe, in my opinion, that Virgil Ortiz kept pulling out of fights because he was trying to use something. That's just my opinion. Hopefully he won't be trying to use something and get mad at the public because it's something that you're obviously doing that's not right. For every time you get a fight, you have to pull out. And the symptom of the situation that he was going through, which it was shown that when you try to take PEDs or any form of a steroid, that's what make it flare up. This is not my words. This is, y'all go back and look at it. It makes it flare up, and this is what, you know, stops Virgil Ortiz from fighting most opponents. So I don't know if it may be a pullout or not, but it's gonna be a good fight, you know, between him and one thing about it, if you put a jab in Virgil Ortiz's face, most of the time you can nullify his offense. Even though Virgil Ortiz reminds me of Valdez, he's a good boxer and a brawler. But if you put a jab in Virgil Ortiz's face, he doesn't really know what to do. And Tim Tszyu rarely uses a jab. So if this fight were to happen, I would lean towards Virgil Ortiz, especially since Tim Tszyu is coming off of a loss.
Another problem I have, how come Blair Cobbs and Virgil Ortiz in fight? Because like you said, why is Virgil throwing out the big fight? I know they were supposed to fight each other. I heard they were supposed to fight each other in Boots too. Virgil and Boots. What happened?
I can't hear you. You probably too close to your microphone on your phone.
Oh, I said what happened to the Virgil versus Boots fights, and what happened to the Virgil versus Blair Cobb fight? It's like you said, he keep pulling out.
Yeah, because they keep saying from the symptom of what it was that they discovered with Virgil Ortiz, they say that once you try to use a PED or some type of substance, it messes you up. And Virgil Ortiz has been known to get pissed off when people bring that up. But Virgil Ortiz, what are you doing to the point of every time you have a fight, all of a sudden you can't come through with it because this symptom flares back up? Well, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. All them fighters are dirty. It's crazy. I think they all dirty. This game is rigged.
Yeah, you too close to your microphone.
No, I think everyone is dirty in this boxing game.
I mean, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? It's no different than bodybuilding. You know, if I know you're gonna be, you know, what they call them, strongest man in the world from taking steroids, you done won it 7 times. Why wouldn't I take it? If I know Usain Bolt was using steroids and won all those Olympic gold medals, why the hell wouldn't I take it when I want to be a gold medalist? It's the same thing in boxing. Just because I tell people like this all the time, I said this in the last video. Just because I haven't been caught smoking weed at my job don't mean I ain't smoking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because when I know everybody else is smoking and they getting by and they getting good numbers and they getting employee of the month, why wouldn't I take it when I know that everybody else is smoking weed? Why would I smoke weed? As long as I can pass the drug test, I'm just as good as they are.
You're right.
You know, a lot of people say that, well, like to this day, people don't believe Manny Pacquiao was actually using steroids. What? This man head got bigger. This man calf muscles is the size of a watermelon. He done moved up 8 divisions. The only fighter to ever move up 8 divisions and run through bigger men. But he
I don't,
wasn't. Come on now.
I don't know how his heart now exploded, like you just said. His heart should be out of commission. 8 weight classes? I can't imagine doing that.
The only fighter to ever do it.
Yeah, that's a little suspect.
Just like I go in on NUI. A lot of people, oh, you just mad because he beats black fighters. I don't give a damn if he beat a motherfucking zebra. I don't give a fuck what he beats. That boy's on steroids.
I
He
believe
has,
you on skills too.
he has skills to pay the bills. I take nothing away from his skill set. The boy's a good fighter. But to run through different weight classes and move up the way he moving up, come on now.
And he hits too hard. The way he be hitting people, I be looking at it, it look like a car crash.
Bigger,
Only heavyweight should be hitting like car crash.
bigger man. Also, this. Do you think that David Benavidez is going to be a monster at 175?
I think he might not be. For some reason, I feel like something inside me tell me when David fight people his own size, it's a little bit harder to get him out of there compared when he fight like people that's smaller than him. He's able to get them out of there. I think people his own size, like he's gonna be a problem, but I think it's gonna take time. He's gonna have to figure it out, like how he figured it out on the lower weight classes. Cause these boys up there, they eating leather. They gonna eat leather to give leather. And they gonna be boys his size. So he gonna have to take some punishment too. He ain't gonna be one sided like how it used to be because he was so big and he could eat. You know, he had punch resistance. He's bigger than everybody else. But now there's gonna be people the same size that could be hitting harder than him or hit as hard as him. So
Sure.
he's gonna have to go through a storm.
I think it's going to show and prove whether or not, saying he is the monster that they claim he is. These dudes are up there with bigger guys taking the same amount of punches, taking the same power punches that he's been delivering on 168 pounds. So we're going to really see what type of monster he is, going up in that range. And I take nothing away from Dave Benavidez. He beat one of my favorite fighters, Demetrius Andrade. I couldn't believe it. I was expecting Demetrius Andrade to come out there and show his skill set and possibly beat Dave Benavidez, but the power of David Benavidez was too much. And let's just see if it's going to carry the 175 pounds.
That's what we got to see. Another thing, why is Terrence Crawford fighting this cab driver?
So imagine up.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, Terrence, he a problem. I'm like, I want Terrence to fight top competition, but it feels like top competition don't want to fight him. I don't know why.
Because he's a deadly fighter. Nobody want to let their old go. Madrimov is somebody who chose, take a chance. And also, Terrence fighting him gets him closer to undisputed. He gets to come in at 154 and automatically grab a belt. That sets him up for the winner of Fundora and Spence. I don't know who has the IBF title.
I do not know. This new weight class, ever since Jamel got beat up by Canelo, them belts like the Dragon Balls, they scattered.
God damn. I couldn't see the belt. You like it? God damn. That was a good one right there. They said the belt was like the Dragon Balls. Yeah, they everywhere. They spread it out right now. Once these two fights happen, Fundora, Spence, Crawford, Madrimov, somebody gonna be a unified champion. They're gonna have 3 belts. So whoever got that IBF, they next in line. It's sad that we don't even know who it is, but
Yeah, I also heard that Jamel coming back to 154. I'm like, he better go fight Crawford or go fight Spence. Because if you don't fight Crawford or Spence, he gonna be ducking. That's the only thing I think gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Boots. Oh, I would love to see Charlo versus Boots. Oh my God. That fight would be crazy.
I'll go with Charlo.
Mm, I think Boots won it, bro. I think Boots, if Boots can adjust to Charlo, but like you said, if he can't take the power, yeah, Charlo all the way,
I
all
would
the
go
way.
with Charlo in that fight. I think Charlo would get him up out of there.
Oh,
Uh,
damn, you gonna kill Boots?
who that?
Damn. Mm.
I don't know what's going on with his brother. You know, they say his brother just recently had a domestic violence situation or a DUI situation, if I ain't mistaken. I think it was a DUI situation. You know, Jamal ain't been doing what he need to do. You know,
Me and my brother, we was talking about this. We was like, maybe the problem is like, cause he was saying it like Crawford don't get into trouble, and because of it, he don't get no love. But you know, Earl Spence drinking, getting car crashing, going to the club, he get all the love in the world. And I was like, maybe Charlo going through that. He feels like if I'm not in the news, if I'm not doing no hood stuff, nobody gonna care about me. I'm starting to think that it's the mentality of black men out here.
yeah, I don't know. You know, that's a dumbass mentality to sit up there and think that. You know, I know, Terrence Crawford, is one of the most unlikely because he won't do the Floyd Mayweather effect. He don't go around flashing jewelry and showing his cars, and they want
Yeah,
you to have the ignorant mentality as a boxer who's on top, especially as a black fighter. And also the fact that he's on his path to greatness. If he becomes, three-time undisputed, then you got to put him up there with some of the greatest ever.
hmm
So I think there's a lot of people behind the scenes who are blocking his accomplishments and don't want him to get to that level.
I
Especially,
believe it.
especially since he's independent now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody owns him. Nobody can tell him what to do. He's out there to get his own profit, his own money. The hate is really there for Terrence Crawford.
Hey, the sky's the limit for Blair Crawford.
If they allow it, look, hopefully it won't be a market. What's his name, Marciano situation. Hopefully a plane don't drop out the sky and take this man life or something because he want to be great. You know, but you could clearly see people are literally stepping in the way because Spence and Fundora should not be happening. It should be Crawford and Fundora.
Yeah, I don't know where Smith came from. I thought Smith was gonna come back and fight a tune-up, but he did not do that. I don't know what's going on.
So a lot of people are sitting up here like you just asked the question, why is Terrence Crawford fighting Mandemore? Because he's trying to get into 154 and get a title. He was really supposed to be obligated by boxing rules to fight Fundora. He beat Errol Spence. He's the undisputed champion. He had
You're right.
all the belts, which would make him a mandatory to fight Fundora for any title that he had. So how did he not get that fight? Is the question.
Boxing politics.
Exactly. How did he not get that fight?
Man, the game is rigged. It's rigged, man.
Sad, but it's true. Sad, but it's true. Now, this is a fight that, another head undercard fight we're going to talk about before we get off. We got 7 minutes left.
Okay.
Rayo versus Isaac Cruz.
Hmm. I think Isaac Cruz, Ryo. I think Ryo gonna kill him. Ryo, he got robbed recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryo, when he come in there, he come to brawl, boy. He let his hands go.
Mm-hmm.
He want fighters. He want to fight. So you gonna have to kill him in that ring. And if you're not gonna kill him, he's gonna turn you to hamburger meat. So yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so I got Ryo. I
Well,
got Ryo.
you say he gonna let his hands go, but what about Isaac Cruz and the way he lets his hands go? And he just got a title, and from watching his backstory, they wonder how he used to have to wonder how he was gonna feed his children. So do you think he's gonna be willing to let Ryu just come out there and destroy him and take his belts, even with his punch
Nah,
out?
I think his pride gonna get him hurt. Like you just said. He like you just said. You said it.
he gonna feel like, man, this is my house, and he might, throw the wrong punch, trying to prove a point to a young boy. That's how a lot of people get caught trying to knock somebody out. The
But
best way to get knocked out is to try to knock somebody out. That's how you get knocked out in the game. You know how it is, easy.
yeah, but we gotta remember that, Rayo had difficulties with at one point, even though he felt like he won. We all feel like he won that first fight against Chris Crawford.
Yes,
He,
that's
he had troubles with feather fisted, time pacing. You know what I'm saying? Chris
yeah.
Crawford.
Well, since he didn't lose the fight, and he probably watched his tape, he probably fixed that. They probably could fix those stuff. You know how it is over time when you watch tape and you see what you're doing wrong. If Rayo don't fix it, he gonna lose, like you said. If they ain't fix that up,
Mhm.
you right.
So you gotta look at it from different angles. You
You
know,
right.
he had difficulty getting a win over Chris Cole, Mr. Flashy Boxer, Mr. Don't Got Power. So going against Isaac Cruz, who we know got some power, at least he was able to stop Riley Romero or get the fight stopped. I'm gonna go with Isaac Cruz against Rayo.
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see which prediction is right when we come back. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna crack up about it.
Yeah. You always welcome to come on the channel. We're gonna chop it up about the situation. But
All right.
that's just what it is. Mr. 18s, thank you for tuning in. And I thank you as well, Retro Gamer, for coming on talking with me for a minute. I
No
appreciate it.
problem. I'm gonna give a video a like on the way out.
Yes, sir. Please give it a like. And everybody,
Yo,
when you watch the video, please give it away or give it a like, subscribe to the channel as you're leaving. Thank you, Retro Gamer. And thank
no problem.
everybody who tuned in. Y'all have a good night. Time for me to go eat out and got out of work. I'm gonna do this every night and be back on my channel, man. I love y'all. I thank y'all for the support. If you want to support the channel, you see it right there at the bottom of the screen. I would truly appreciate you. And this is your boy Easy Work, man. I'm out.